So everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video of the Sunday Swing Quest. So like you know guys, you've seen these videos before. It's all about picking one lucky subscriber to win a free swing analysis and lesson. Most important thing is we're going to offer some simple tips to help you improve. So today's lesson is all about how we can stand to this golf ball better. We've got David. He really struggles with getting in a good posture, but then because of this, swaying off the golf ball. So we're going to talk about a nice simple routine that can be done out on the golf course to really help him get into good posture, but then also help him move better during the backswing. Now, if you want to enter and you want to win, make sure you comment down below, subscribe and hit that bell button to have a chance to win next week's Sunday Swing Quest. So let's start with beginning to show you what David's setup looks like. I'm going to talk about this with his 7-iron here. So we've got a very, very wide stance and we've got upright posture. So from this position here, we see a move in the backswing that looks a little bit swayed off the golf ball. Not a lot of rotation, and not a lot of rotation with the hips and the upper body, and no X factor stretch being created. And then a little bit of a move left through the golf ball. So from a down the line point of view, it would look a little bit like this. Now, when I'm in a position like this, this is very, very hard to actually move the body the way we want to move it. And then in essence, how we want to move the golf club. So we're going to talk about today's video, a nice simple routine that we can do on the range to begin with, but then also something we can do on the golf course, which is really going to help us get into a good setup every single time. Now, I've got my 7-iron here. We're going to start with a nice simple way we can actually stand to this golf ball better. So with a 7-iron ball position, I like to feel like it's half a ball to a ball left of centre. So slightly closer towards my left foot than my right foot. And that's my personal feeling. Now, if you're a one-length player, you'll keep it in a 7-iron position throughout the whole bag. For me, that's something I do. So in terms of width of stance, I like to feel that my width of stance is just on shoulder width apart. So we're not going too wide. We're on shoulder width apart. It's a nice blend between being, right, okay, I can't actually rotate these hips, which is something we see in David's swing, or very, very unstable lower half with a very narrow stance. Now, it's a nice blend because we want to be able to have a wide enough stance for a solid base, but also allow a nice weight transfer throughout the backswing and into the downswing. So, like I said, I want a stance that's just wide of a shoulder width apart. Now, from this position here, I want you to start with pointing your toes directly down this blue line you can see here. And then I like to feel like, imagine this red line for my ball position is 12 o'clock on the clock face. Put my left toe at 10 and my right toe at 2. And for me here, I really like to feel like my feet are spread. One, to give me a solid base, but also it really helps me get that mobility throughout the hips. These toes pointed in really limits that. So I've got my nice toes pointed slightly out. I want to keep those legs straight to begin with. Really nice simple routine now. Hold the golf club into the air and we're going to feel like we're going to point the sole of this club to the sky. We're going to lower this club until it runs parallel to our red line. From this position here, and this is going to be really good, David, because this is going to get you the correct distance for every single club, because we're going to do the same routine whether it's driver, irons, or we're chipping. Because for us, this is really going to get us into a position where, okay, this is where the ball should be, not into the golf ball, make our stance. So again, hold the golf club to the sky. Feel that you lower this club until it runs parallel to the red line. From here, I want to keep in the legs straight, so keeping them locked out at the minute. We're just going to tilt forwards on the hips. So imagine our sternum is going to start working towards the golf ball, almost like we're going to take a bow. So, okay, same relationship with the golf club. Tilt from the sternum, tilt, 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 until this club hits the ground. Now from this position, slightly bend those knees. And the nice expression that I use is, imagine you're perching on that kitchen stool. From this position here, we're going to shuffle nicely into the golf ball. So now we've got an actual position of the body which can move through the golf swing. It's not wide and then swaying to try and make that move. We've got a position that the body's set up into now. So imagine your setup and your backswing as your foundations. We've got to have good foundations to get a good backswing. And if we're not stood to this golf ball incorrectly, this is going to make us move off this golf ball. So now we've got into that posture, David, I want you to make a few kind of drill swings, and I want you to place the club across the chest, because now we've got into this good posture, it's actually going to help us move better during this backswing. So this is almost like an added bonus. This lesson's mainly about how we stand to the golf ball, but this is how it's actually going to help you move throughout the backswing. So into that nice posture. I want us to feel now that this golf club, imagine a broom on the end of it, and it's going to brush the floor. We're going to feel like we brush the floor. We're not going to sway off. We're going to feel like we brush the floor. So we're going to feel as though this left shoulder works more down towards the golf ball, because that's really going to help us, one, stay in posture throughout the backswing, but also get this club moving in a much more efficient way, and hopefully a much more repeatable way. So let's run this one from the top now again, and let's hit this one away. Start with that ball position, just left of centre for me, for my 7-iron, toes pointing at the blue line. Then we're going to point them out, keeping those legs straight. Remember, we're going to put the sole to the sky. We're going to lower this club until it runs parallel to the red line. Remembering that we're still keeping those legs straight. We're going to tilt now until our club hits the ground. Now, this is going to really give us the good distance from the golf ball. Slightly bend the knees, shuffle into the shot. One look at the target, remind yourself of the broom feeling, hit it away. Just like that. Now, as we do this, this is something that we can do, okay, with the alignment sticks on the range, because this gives us some good constants. We can put these down and we can really feel as though we create a good same setup every single time. Now, a big advocate of this is Ian Poulter. He will admit he would class as the most talented, but he does the basic things right. Stands the golf ball the same, good ball position, good setup, and that really helps us hit some good shots. So on the golf course, we lose the alignment sticks, but guess what? We can go through the same process every single time with every club. And we've got 40 seconds to which to play our shot, so we've definitely got enough time. So I'm going to show you this from the down the line point of view now. I'm going to stand to here. We're going to start with the feet just on shoulder width apart. We're going to point the toes out then, keeping the legs fully locked out. We're going to feel like now we lower this club until it's parallel to the ground. And we're just going to tilt forward, being towards the ground. Slightly bend the knees. We'll keep that same position. That's really athletic, feeling that we can brush the ground now with that shoulder, and we'll hit this one away. So we're really creating a position which is much more repeatable. And what I would say here is getting in a posture that's not upright and then swaying off the golf ball in this motion. We're now looking for a motion, because we've got that good setup, that looks more like this, David. So we can start to load into that backswing and create some really good foundations. So let's summarize from the top. Really nice, simple lesson today, all about how we stand to the golf ball, but ultimately how then we can swing better in the backswing. So from the top, starting with our 7-iron here, feet just on shoulder width apart, toes pointing in, point the toes out to help with our hip mobility, hold the club up to the sky, lower it until it runs parallel to the red line, tilt from the hips, slightly bend the knees like we're perched on that kitchen stool, shuffle in. So remember, we're tilting from the hips. A few little reminders about this feeling of brushing the shoulder on the ground, not moving off the golf ball this way. And this will really help us get a backswing, one, that's got much more of a solid base and foundations in terms of the setup, but also much more solid in terms of how it operates throughout the whole golf swing. If we want to feel like we stay in posture, we've got to have a good setup and good posture to begin with. So now you've got your simple foundations to help you do that. So there you have it. Filming today's Sunday Swing Quest downhill, the third at Stockport. Look at it, a little bit of a dog leg left up the hill, looking stunning at the moment. So really nice, simple lesson today, all about how we can stand to the golf ball better, but then actually how does that help us move better during the backswing? Remember the simple points. Start with this 7-iron, start with the feet that shoulder width apart. We're going to feel like we point the toes out, keeping the legs locked. Then we're going to lower the club till it runs parallel to the ground, tilt forward from the hips, slightly bend those knees like a kitchen stool. And if we were going to talk about how the stance may change slightly as we go through the bag, I would say as we get further away from the hole, the stance gets a little bit wider, but never too wide that we can't feel like we can got a good weight transfer. And remember, if we get too wide, it really limits our mobility in our hips also. So then as we get closer to the green, we're going to feel like our stance becomes a little bit narrower. So that's a really nice, simple rule you can stick to help you stand to the golf ball. Guess what? You do the same routine, just adjust the width of the stance. Thank you for watching this week's Sunday Swing Quest. Remember, David's our winner this week, but you could be next week. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.